and the Son is with you. Together, this day, let us enter into a conscious contemplation. Together, let us contemplate a consciousness of prosperity. And as I enter into this inner activity, I welcome the fullness of the sacred fire, passing through my consciousness, my mind, my feelings, my body temple. The sacred fire that produces purity, light, love, energy. And I look to my presence within and above, and the angels to be with me and hold me in the various activities of the sacred fire. Today, as I contemplate a consciousness of prosperity, I speak to any energies or remnants of a consciousness of lack that might remain within my mind, my feelings. I say to that consciousness of lack, I thank you for becoming part of me. And yet a new journey calls me. It calls me to make the climb, to enter into a new plateau where the consciousness of prosperity is acting inwardly and therefore must find expression in my outer life, my outer world. And to whatever aspects of consciousness of lack yet remains within me, I see it all as qualified energy. I love you, I bless you, I thank you for serving me in the ways that you have. And I am ready. I am ready to let you go. To allow all consciousness and energy, thoughts and feelings of lack and limitation to leave me now, to leave my mind, my feelings, any of that is embodied upon the very cells of my body. I give you permission to leave me now and enter into the sacred fire and be no more. I bless that consciousness of lack that at times has acted in my life, and I release it into the sacred fire, that energy may be made free and return to God. And in this moment, as I contemplate the consciousness of prosperity and abundance, I take a moment of sacred remembrance that where I am, God is, and where God is, I am. And I live within God's universe, that is so charged and filled with the energy of abundance and prosperity. I turn to my true God nature within and above, and I acknowledge what already is, yet too often has been covered over. And that is a consciousness of God's great energy and supply, abundance and prosperity. And I say to that energy, lay quiescent no more. Rise, rise. O mighty energy of God's great supply, prosperity, abundance. And express again through the consciousness that I am. For I remember this day that I am is God. Consciousness is sourced and pure from God's source. And in its raw nature is so filled and charged with limitless energy. The consciousness of abundance and prosperity. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Expression through the life that I have been given and the lives of others. And in these moments that I remember this, and I begin an invitation to a limitless supply of energy, prosperity, abundance, money, and all wondrous ways the beauty of God's energy expresses. As I reflect upon this and invite its expression, I am willing to forget. I am willing to forget moments that I have had negative experiences with money and supply. Even times past where I did not like money very much, and oftentimes ended up having a poor relationship with money. I must ask myself in my contemplation, do I love God? And for me, it is a given. I love God and all that God is. Life, energy, eternal, immortal, ever present. And I say to all past moments in the experience side of life, where my relationship with prosperity, money, supply has not always been favorable, those experiences that are often part of who I am today, I release those experiences and all thoughts about them into the great consuming flames of sacred fire's purity's presence. And I call upon you, my beloved presence, to rush the purification and the power of thy cosmic blue flames through my mind, my feelings, my physical temple. And in that great onrush of the cosmic blue flames in all their power and purity, carry out of my being and my world all experience of lack and limitation. For as I move forward, I find no value in remembering such things. And I value forming my thoughts, my hopes, my dreams, my goals, my aspirations. I value forming them in the consciousness of prosperity, not the consciousness of poverty. The sacred fire that is with me now, I release all past experiences, thoughts and emotions regarding and supporting the consciousness and therefore the experience of limitation and poverty. I love and bless the sacred fire, and I love and bless that energy, even energy that has been qualified with lack and limitation. Energy loves to be directed. And I direct all energy qualified with thoughts or emotions, experiences of lack, into the sacred fire. I give you your freedom. And I welcome that which is rich and mighty and beautiful and opulent within the sacredness of my beingness, deep from within my consciousness, a wellspring of God that is never to be dammed up again, a wellspring of God that loves to express as creativity, ideas, opportunities, endless mountains of God's magnificent opulence, prosperity, abundance. All of this waiting, willing vessels for creative expression. And to all of God's great energy, opulence, abundance, prosperity, I offer this life that I have been given to be that instrument, that conduit that expresses God's magnificent supply of energy, money, homes, supply, beauty. And I so welcome the onrush of God's consciousness of prosperity, to be greeted in my own heart flame by the great central sun's magnet's presence, a force of divine attraction that magnetically draws the abundance of God's life, energies, ideas, creativity, light, love, power, opportunities to express through my life on earth, and to rush forward into all the activities and connections of my outer life. Almighty God, I am within and above. I see the life that you have given me and the outer life. As that place that waits for a bounty of thy great riches, expressing through this life. I say yes to life. I say yes to the return to a natural state of consciousness, expressing through my mind, my thoughts, my feelings, a natural state of God, where the consciousness, the thoughts, the feelings, the substance, the energy, the matter, the forms and manifestations of God's great supply, abundance, that manifests even before I know that I have that desire or requirement. Oh, my mighty, glorious Christ I am. Angels of abundance and great ascended host, charge, charge, charge. The energy of my mind, my feelings, my consciousness, with endless ideas, energies, feelings of God's abundance and prosperity, acting in my life, my being, and my world. I rest and I relax. And I call upon my own heart flame to release into my being, my life, my world, an infinite supply and storehouse of God's great energy, the energy of my presence that waits to be qualified, waits to be directed. And in this moment, I enter into a new plateau of relationship. My most important relationship with that mighty presence that is my true self, that mighty presence that is the source of life and health and energy to my life on earth. And I welcome the onrush of God's great energy. And I rise myself, the director, the qualifier. And as God's life force and power and energy increases in me each day, as each day I turn and face the light, the majesty, the power and perfection of my own individualized presence of God. And I welcome an onrush of its glorious energy, expressing through the life I have been given. I love to direct that energy. I love to qualify that energy. I love to have hopes and dreams and aspirations. And I realize that where I am, God is, and where God is, I am, and therefore I rise. And I equate my hopes, my dreams, my aspirations, and all that I qualify, God's energy acting in my life as God's dreams, God's hopes, and God's aspirations. I cannot for the life of me imagine God failing at anything. Does not happen. Yet in my awakefulness, I realize that God, infinite or individualized, requires an instrument, a vessel, a conduit in physical reality. And to my own individualized presence of God, the mighty I am, and to our beloved creators, the infinite I am, the angelic, the ascended host, I offer the life that you have given me, my outer self, to be that instrument of God's grace and glory, the consciousness and energy of prosperity and abundance and all opportunities acting in my life. I am the great central sun's magnet's presence of divine attraction that draws to me my own. The mighty presence of this universe has granted each of us an abundance of life, health, energy, and supply. I have covered over the onrush of that supply due to beliefs and experiences of the old consciousness of duality and lack. That consciousness no longer resides within me. I am free, I am free, I am free. By all God's light and all God's love, I am free of that consciousness of old. And I welcome from on high and from deep within, I welcome the unstoppable onrush of God's great energy that waits to be qualified. This act of qualification God has granted me. And as I welcome an onrush of God's great consciousness and energy of life, I qualify that energy to be an abundance of all that I should desire and require, including money, gold, homes, beauty. And in truth, I am not the owner of these things. There's only God and God's creations. My money and supply is not mine. I am but the caretaker, the director. Any money, supply, prosperity, abundance that is acting in my life, manifesting in my life, is God's energy. And there is no shortage of that energy. Too long I have blocked the prosperity and abundance and opulence of God expressing in the life I have been given. I've blocked that through old beliefs, consciousness of lack and scarcity, and through the experience side of life. No more. All of this is of the old way in the old world. and I have given it over to the sacred fire. I am made clean and whole once again, and declare my life on earth, the outer self, the instrument for the energy of God's great abundance and prosperity and opulence, expressing in my life as the great central sun's magnet's presence, law of divine attraction. And I am so grateful. So grateful I have awakened to these greater truths, never to be covered over again. And I welcome every day, from the deep richness of my being, God's consciousness. An avalanche, yes, an avalanche of God's energy. Money, health, supply, opportunities. And I direct that into full, glorious manifestation in the experience side of life. My beloved, mighty Christ, I am. I give thee thy command. I call upon you to enrich my consciousness as it passes through my mind, my feelings. Enrich my consciousness with the consciousness of God's great energy, supply, abundance, prosperity, opulence. My mind, my feelings belong to me, and I shall govern them with the most opulent thoughts and feelings that I can call forward. I say to all old thoughts and feelings of lack and limitation, cease to be. I speak to my feeling side of life in the presence of the sacred fire. I give no authority to the emotions of lack or limitation to ever express from my feeling side of life again. I charge and command my feeling side of life to release constant God feelings of prosperity, abundance, opulence, energy, beauty, perfection, all waiting perfect manifestation in my life and my world. I am. By all God's light and by all God's love, I know I am the consciousness of prosperity and abundance and opulence. And regarding the subject of supply, there is just so much that is flowing into my life. The more I use God's great energy and money and supply constructively, as soon as I have used one basket of God's great energy and money and supply, 12 more are filled over. Such is the power and the glory and the mystery of God. Let the past be the past. And the present, the dawning of a new glorious sun's presence that I love to face each morning, that bears witness to the abundance of life, light, love, energy, ideas, opportunities, and the supply of every good thing, now made manifest each and every day. That is a covenant between my Creator and myself. It is a promise of abundance and a promise on my part to add to God's great abundance in this universe. Too long has this covenant been covered over. I call it forth in full, dynamic, abundant expression. I am opulent. I am opulent in all my thoughts and all my feelings. I am opulent in the music of the higher spheres that sings harmonic peace, beauty, and abundance throughout my being and my world. I breathe the living breath of God's great prosperity. Everything belongs to God. I am but the qualifier, the director, and the caretaker. And this day, I welcome the restoration of God's great consciousness of prosperity, abundance, and opulence, acting in my thoughts, my feelings, my being, all waiting the opportunity to manifest in the experience side of life. I am opulent. I am opulent. I am opulent. And I love and I rise to these new days of opulence. Every moment, every day. And I am eternally grateful. I am that I am. Deep breath. And take a moment to be fully present. We love and bless you, Master and Son, for coming forth and assisting us in charging our being and world with God's great opulence. Deep breath. And now, precious hearts, be perfectly still as we invite the Master Jesus to be with us, to project his luminous presence before us, and to release the radiance of his ascended Jesus Christ consciousness and love and radiation in, through, and around us, and to lift us and raise us this day. Be very still for 1 full minute and receive the Master's grace.